All right, welcome everybody. Janet Kiefer here. It is Saturday, July 8th. We are on the network marketing skills training 2, the 2 most critical network marketing skills. If you're joining us as a recording afterwards, I hope you'll really take some notes. This is going to be, I think, a very valuable training. But just as we kick it off, as we started last week, we said, network marketing is a team sport, right? You can't do it without each other. You can't be successful unless you do this together. And hold on, I'm messing with my slides. So why did we want to start skills? Well, a lot of us have never done network marketing, or we kind of did it, but we didn't really have any training and nothing really happened. And also, as you start building your business, you're both learning and you have to learn to lead. So there's these conflicting things you got to keep learning, but mostly you have to think differently than how you did a job or you had a career training. We wanted to start bringing in skills so you could develop and then you can teach your team to develop. So again, last week we talked about kind of this phase, and Steve Reed corrected us a little bit. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this today because we did talk last week on the first training, but everybody starts unconsciously incompetent. You may want to do it. You know how to talk to people. Yay, you got that skill. But in terms of how to build this business, we've never done it. You didn't go to college for it. So it's okay to go, oh, God, I totally feel incompetent. I don't know what to say. How do you do this, right? Well, the good news is it's just a business of people. So it's not like you're flying a 747 and you made the wrong, turn. We can figure it out. But you go through a phase as you're training where you're consciously incompetent. You go, okay, don't know how to do that, but I need to learn, till you finally get consciously competent and it flows with you every day. So that's kind of where we want to start these. So a lot of leaders are going to join in today. Pardon me, I'm just struggling with my gallery. It's not letting me do things here. I need to move it. There we go. So last week, if you were not with us, the network marketing overview, we went over, well, what is network marketing and who supports it? And there's a lot of big people who support it. And why is it better? Why is it a better way? And why you need a why. We wanted you to really feel comfortable, grounded in it. If you get pushback from people, like one person's husband said, that's illegal, you're going to get arrested, or we'll get sued if you share those patches. Okay, we wanted to give you some of the basics. So we had some great fun with it. So where is that recording? It's right here. Julian Canute graciously put up a YouTube channel, youtube.com at Activate the Stem Cells. You'll see the recording. This is where we're putting all the training. So maybe you were with us, but one of your team wasn't. So I want you to get them on it, have them start watching these things. All right, jumping in today, we're going to do 2 critical skills over this time. It's creating your list and inviting people. And I picked this picture because you guys, we've been creating a list and inviting people since we were kids. You were like, who am I going to go play with today? Maybe I'm going to call Billy. Maybe I'm going to call Sally. You're thinking, and what are we going to do? Well, I want to invite them. Let's go to the park. Let's play on the swing sets, whatever. And we've been doing it our whole lives. And then we get to network marketing, we go, oh, okay. But also, when you got on the swing sets when you were a little kid, your first day, you weren't upside down on the trapeze. You had to learn to get there until you felt comfortable swinging up and down with your hair falling, and think of the times you went so high on the swings and you fell off, you're willing to try things and be risky. So we're going to go over these 2 skills. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have a lot of people sharing, but this is where we're going today. So first of all, I just want to set the tone that, and pardon me, Jerry, is my gallery in the way? I'm trying to get it. There we go. Okay. So number 1, you guys, we have the gift. You're going to invite, you want to grow this business, you've got to really understand you have the gift. People are praying to be out of pain. People are praying for a solution to their problem. People are struggling with credit cards. Maybe it's medical costs. Maybe everything's costing more, stress. And guess what? If you talk to people, they'll all tell you they're fine. They're fine. They're not going to tell you. They're not going to share that unless Janet Hudson, jump in here. We did talk about this with her life. Janet, go ahead and unmute.
I'm unmuted. I'm trying to figure out which part you're talking about.
Oh, when we're talking about no, everybody tells you their problems.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was a nurse for so long. Everybody comes and tells me everything. So sometimes I wish they just wouldn't tell me everything, but actually it works really well for this business because then you just help them with LifeWave.
Yeah, you help them with that. But, you know, some people, we're going to go through why aren't things working necessarily, but you have to really believe you have the gift. You do. And I love this little Tigger and Pooh Bear. If you could spread love as quickly as we spread hate and negativity, what amazing world we live in. I really believe we're sharing love with these patches, or you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't spend any of your time over here, right? There's a lot of network marketing companies. You could go do pills that go in the gas tank for better mileage. You could do press on nails. You could have the lemonade that makes you skinny or the coffee that makes you skinny. You have to really have a heart, I think, to be in this one. And not that they don't, but this one takes a little more. So today's point is no one is doing you any favors by looking at the patches. You have the gift. And if you'll stay in that energy every time you're inviting and sharing, and you just calm down, you've got the gift. You're sitting on the gold mine. Do they want to get well? So I want to open this up first, and we're going to talk about today. You're going to make a new list. You've been in 2 years. You've been in 2 months. It's really time now with the 331 system to take off here. So looking at who's on board, I would like, I want to keep the slide up, but Julian Canute, I'd like it if you take over here. Go ahead, Canute. Go ahead and unmute.
He was there. Is he? I can't
Yeah.
see him now.
Great.
I'm here.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Sorry about that. I was doing my social duties with a blood donation this morning. So, talking about networks, I presume, I just logged on. The size of your business is basically determined by the size of your list. And if you want to build a bigger business, then you've got to, first of all, eat through your, I call it eat through your current list and a memory jogger. And then beyond that, then becomes a question of how do you find other people? Just give me 1 second. I have a problem with a contact lens. All right. That has been remedied. So I guess my question to everyone here is, what do you envisage where you want to go with this? If you are content with having your patches paid for, then that's perfect. Then share that with other people, just in your close-knit community, be it friends, families, and the likes. There are people on this call who would like to grow a big business. And I guess then we kind of have to change our thinking a little bit to go to people that we know that are professionally driven. I guess what I sometimes call the scary people, the people whose opinion and perspectives you value. And I think the approach in that way would be, what would you see as a value to the person that you're speaking with or thinking about? Do not, I beg of you, do not think that, okay, they got plenty of money, not a problem, they don't need anything like this. I have seen a number of people who have fallen into that trap, and then you see suddenly that person that you thought had everything sorted appear in someone else's team.
So, yeah.
And If I was to say, I mean, Steve Meredith, he had a really good point the other day when I was listening to what he was saying. And he said, okay, my friend just sold his business for $45 million or something like that, 16, 45, who cares about the numbers, into the 7 digits anyway, 7 or 8 digits. And he goes, but yeah, the guy doesn't want money, but does he have some challenges health-wise? And does he know someone that has got challenges health-wise? Because this is becoming now a sharing and a caring approach. So if you can put yourself in the chair and go, I want to share this because I care about people, then suddenly a lot of your blocks maybe on writing the lists will dissipate. I hope that helps.
Thank you, Knut. Julie?
Well, I can pretty well just say I like talking to people. So I've got my list out, but I actually had somebody contact me yesterday on Messenger. It was kind of cool because normally I'm the person doing it, but I had someone else contact me about their business, and it wasn't LifeWave, it was about something else. But I hadn't spoken to this woman. I think it's been 10 years. And she just messaged me and said, how are you? Oh, yeah, about her business, which is, a tennis related something or other. But I wasn't actually offended. I was like, oh, it's good to hear from her. So you know what I'm doing right now. So I'm just getting back to her and maybe someone's interested in her tennis business. So, like I like to share. So when you have your list, there's many ways that you can do it. So with a business people, what I'm finding is they kind of want you to have a look at their business too. And I'm just talking general business. I'm not saying another network marketing. I'm not talking about that. But just more, so I'm just exploring that at the moment. But Janet's got business contacts on there. So maybe you already go to that business, you already support them. So don't be afraid to show them this because you're already supporting them. Practitioners, the same. They might be a little bit different, but it's the same sort of thing. We're supporting them. So think of as a business person.
Thank you, Julie. And all of us get our hair cut, and the hairstylists are talking to people every day, you guys. If you know Connie Lucas, she's now a senior presidential. She's in the Live Younger team. She's had a hair salon for like 20 years. And she says it's the natural fit. I'm basically a counselor to people for an hour and a half, right? Realtors. Ruth Ann on here has been a realtor and some other people for a long time. Well, think about it. Realtors, what do? They talk to people all day long. How many people do they go into a house and a buyer can't walk up the stairs, right? You got to kind of open them up. Like, who do you know that wants to feel better? What are your clientele like? Start thinking through. Anybody in any associations, if you're in a chamber, I'm a member of the chamber. I really recommend, if you're looking at growing this, get involved in your local chamber, because they're business people who interact with business people. And think about it, like we have on our opportunity meeting, what does everybody have in common? Everybody has stem cells, right? Maybe it's the guy with the muffler shop that's in the chamber, but he's got stem cells, right? His back hurts from leaning over. So let's just start broadening it up. Anybody want to chime in here?
Yeah, I do real quick. Don't forget about the mailman. There's over 500,000 mailmen out there, plus
women.
plus women, and plus 136 non-career person. So that's almost 700,000 people you could talk to, and I bet you know at least one.
Good point, Bob. Good point.
The other area you might think about is social things that you do. If you're in some kind of a hiking club or a biking club or kayaking or whatever it is you like to do, sewing, book club, those are great people to be talking to. And of course, they're going to reach out and talk to you when they find out what you're doing.
Yeah. Anyone else?
If I may lob one group in here that I don't think anyone has mentioned. They're called the accountants and the bookkeepers.
Yeah.
Why? Because they see people's books. They see the revenue. They see what's going on in the businesses. And You might not necessarily sign them up, but if you have someone that can lead you to an accountant, then quite simply saying, hey, there is some way that we can actually leverage your existing customer base, and you can see an increase in revenue for 20 to 40% with a minimal expense level. Would that be of interest to you? And then have the account and maybe just refer. It's just a thought.
Barbara, why don't you take off with that since Knut teed you up?
So okay, so say it again, Canute, because my mind was on what I was going to say, the
Well,
poor
no,
listeners.
talk about with your CPA.
Oh, my CPA. Yeah. So that's right. Okay. So we talked about that when we were in Houston. So my CPA exactly fits into the category that you're saying, Canute. He has been very, very ill. In fact, I was just praying 2 years ago that he wasn't going to die before he did my taxes. That's a terrible thing to say, but he was so ill. And my taxes did not get filed until October 15th. So I've been so concerned about his health. And when I went to get my taxes done this year, he saw the income I was making with LifeWave, and it finally got his attention. And so we traded services. He said, well, instead of paying me for my fee, why don't you start me on X39? So for the first few months, I paid for his X39, and then he went into his account and switched the credit card over to him. But he called me within a week to tell me he had more energy. So yes, they're seeing our books, and yes, they know a lot of people. And yes, we really need to keep our CPAs healthy, in my opinion, our personal CPAs. But so yeah, that was kind of a backdoor approach, but he was very impressed because he's seen me struggle for years with income, and he was so impressed with what LifeWave was doing. And I said, the only reason I'm getting income now is because this works. People want it and they need it and they see it.
Thanks, Barbara. Really true. Another one that I've stumbled on, having at my local favorite Mexican restaurant, my friend and I were there about a month ago. Guy sits down near us, we get talking to him, and he turns out, he goes, oh, my knee is so sore. I've been playing soccer. So he was in his 30s. So I pull out IceWave and I said, do you mind if I put this on your knee? And, we continue to chat and we're drinking margaritas. And about 20 minutes later, he goes, my knee doesn't hurt. What is this? Well, it turns out he sells Medicare insurance. So he has hundreds of baby boomer clients. And when I showed him LifeWave, he was like, oh my gosh, this is the perfect fit because, and if Sharon or Susie are on here, they do Medicare. It's getting so hard to sell Medicare because they put so many constraints on the agents and things are just getting harder and harder. And he was like, this is the perfect fit to put them together. So anybody else have any ideas here they want to share?
Can I add one more thing, Janet?
Sure.
This is something that has just started working for me because I will see really interesting people on Facebook. And I think to myself, oh, I'll come back and look at them some more and reach out to them. Well, that moment slips away. So I've started taking screenshots of the people that I see that I feel will be influential and good people for me to reach out to. And I'm starting to kind of work a system with that.
Great. Great. Okay, if we move along here, again, you have the gift. I mean, seriously, I want you to put up a sign in your office. You have the gift, okay? So to Barbara's point, everybody's point, let's go back through our cell phones. Let's go back through social media. What business cards do you have lying around? Even if you're not a member of your chamber, you can go get their directories and start flipping through practitioners, insurance people, CPAs, right? Churches that you're a part of, all these things. Start, like Knut says, open up your brain differently. Who do you want to talk to? Yes, there's going to be people like Julie says, yeah, I'm meeting them here and there. But as Knut says, start thinking who you want to have on board, how we're going to share with them. Okay. So your memory jogger, and Julie and Knut gave I can send out this document. It's got quite a number of things in it. But, you know, it's just like CPAs, like I wouldn't have thought about CPAs. I really wouldn't have. And then Barbara said something. I was like, oh yeah, they're right. Okay. You know, but also it's summertime. You're going to family reunions, you're going to weddings, you're going to parties. And all those people sitting by you have stem cells, and a lot of them are losing them, right? So it's time to just, hey, this is what I'm doing. We talked about having the patch on your arm, let's say, or a little bit of bling on the patch, something to get the conversation started. She just mentioned her cousin. Oh, in my purse, I got my little notebook. Let's make a note. Let's get back with them. Anything else anybody wants to share?
Yeah, Janet, there are a couple of different things. I'm involved in several different online networking groups, and a lot of times they'll have industry specific groups, and that could be an option for you. Back in the day, now I know nobody on this call remembers this thing called the Yellow Pages.
They're gone.
But I wouldn't be at all surprised if you couldn't go to your public library and find a copy of a Yellow Pages or something, some type of business directory. So that's an option. You can do a Google search in your area within a 5, 10, 15-mile radius of all the people in a particular category that you're looking for. So just be creative, think outside the proverbial box. Yesterday morning, I was going for a walk in my neighborhood, and I'm about halfway through my walk, and a woman stopped me, and she was in her car. She rolled down the window, and she starts talking to me about losing her 3 chihuahuas. And if you see them, can you help me find them, or whatever. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'm still about halfway through my walk. I'm going to be walking the whole neighborhood. Why don't you send me a text message with your phone number and your name, and if I see the dogs as I'm walking, I'll let you know. Well, about 10, maybe 15 minutes later, she sent me a text back to say that she had found the dogs. But guess what happened in the process? I've got her name and phone number. And she knows that I'm a kind and thoughtful person, that I like helping people. So guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm not one that I'm going to pounce on people. I let them stew a little bit. But I will send a text to her and say, hey, this is Steve. We met yesterday when you were looking for your dogs. I got a crazy question for you. Are you by any chance looking for another way of making some money? Or are you looking for, et cetera, whatever the case is? But my point to that is you never know when those divine appointments take place. And I even told her that in the process when she thanked me for looking. I said, I don't believe this was an accident. I believe we were supposed to meet. So I set the stage for what could happen in the future. I have no clue what's going to happen with that. But the point is, I was keeping my eyes and ears open. I was listening to her need, and I was trying to help her with her need. I may find out that there's another need. Maybe it's bad knees. Maybe it's a bad back. Maybe it's not good sleep. Maybe it's whatever the case is. And I'm guessing she's probably in the 50s. So who knows what's going to happen? Just be observant to everything that's going on around you.
Thank you, Steve. Anyone else?
I think to Steve's point, when you want to run this and you want to run this in a manner that can help you pay for it, but you want more results, go back to your notebook, go back to your phone, go back to your emails, even go back 10 years. Who do you know on LinkedIn? And literally map out your connections and contacts. I said to someone once upon a time, what's the name of your dad? And they go, what's that got to do with it? I said, just play with me. What's the name of your dad? And they go, John or Peter. And he goes, okay, how many other Peters do you know? What's the name of your mom? What's the name of your brother, sister, cousins, auntie, uncles? And it's just memory joggers for people. It's like, okay, I can't remember where they are. Fine. Just write down the location and the connection. Then you can go searching. Your subconscious mind will drag it out. But if you're not aware of it and you're not even writing it down on a piece of paper, and that's why it's so important to write it on a piece of paper. Don't type it out, write it out. Your handwriting, connection to your brain, your activating system for digging into the subconscious mind, it is so powerful.
Thank you for that reminder, Knut. It's true. Don't just look through your phone. Okay, moving along. You have the gift. So I'd like to now shift to our second skill about inviting. And Eric Worre, the master of network marketing, says, honestly, guys, unless you figure this skill out, you're done. You're just done. And his point is, if you don't go through this door, all you ever get to be is a customer. And we didn't go to college to learn to invite, yet we've been inviting our whole life. And I'm going to play some of Eric's inviting video right here. I will give you links to his videos, but it's truly the most important skill. And we just started a whole series of opportunity meetings. Remember, we used to just have Sunday night. We used to have 50, 60, 80 people on those calls. Now we gave you a whole bunch of them and nobody's coming. Nobody's inviting overall. We've had very few people. So we're starting today. You need to understand how to invite, and Eric goes way deep in how to do it. You need to teach your team how to invite, because our whole job is inviting to things. And what Eric says is the most highly paid invitation of anything you'll ever do in network marketing is inviting people to events, most of all. Well, let's start thinking about the presentation as an event. So here we go.
First thing for fundamentals is mindset. You're not a hunter, right? You're a farmer, right? You're a consultant, right? Understand this. Write this down, please. You have the gift. Nobody's doing you any favors by taking a look at your product or taking a look at your opportunity. They're only doing themselves a favor. You have the gift. You have an amazing product or service that will change and improve the quality of their life. You have that. They are uneducated. They don't know about it yet. You have the gift. So your mindset needs to be built around that. Some of you don't even realize how you are projecting that they have the gift of giving you their time and attention. You have the gift. Next, be yourself. Be yourself, but be your best self. Be you. Don't show up with somebody that you know and start inviting them and using language that you never use and you know, a tone of voice that you never use, and you know what I mean? I see it a lot. People turn on their recruiting invitation voice. You ever heard the invitation voice? All of a sudden, you know, it's crazy sounds come out of people's mouths. Just be yourself, but be your best self. And here's a tip for you. If you don't get results or you don't like yourself, model somebody else. I didn't like myself. I didn't like how I sounded. I didn't like my choice of words. I modeled other people's behavior and I tried hard to put my personality into it. So be yourself isn't just an excuse for you to just go out there and be sloppy, but it's just be authentic. Be real. You have a gift. You're a consultant. Be real. You have something that you want to share with somebody. Be real. Next is passion, energy, enthusiasm, urgency. When you're doing the invitation, and especially those of you who are introverted. How many people here in the room are introverted? How many won't raise your hand because you're introverted? So, okay. For the introverts in the room, when you get a little excitement in your voice, the whole world stops. Doesn't have to be a lot. You don't have to put lampshades on your head and climb up on top of the chair. You don't have to do that. But if you say, listen, I got something and we got to get together, the whole world stops. You've got an incredible gift to be able to do it. But whenever you're in this mode, when we're going into invitation mode, I want you to, I don't care what you got to do. Tony Robbins talks about change your state, move around, jumping jacks, pound your chest, turn on the right kind of music. I used to do that a lot. I had a little mixtape. Remember mixtapes? A little mixtape that was like my pump up before I did a presentation or before I made some phone calls tape. And I'd listen to that tape and I'd get my energy right. I just take a minute, just a minute. It's amazing what music does to the soul. It's amazing what it does to your mind and your energy. And let that fill me up a little bit. Okay, pause that music for a second. Dial. Pause that music for a second. Text. Pause that music for a second. Does it matter when you're texting that you have that energy? Yes, it does. How? I don't know. But it does. You're just going through the motions. Nobody cares, and they can tell. If you're excited, passionate, they can also tell. So passion, bring your passion to this process. Urgency. We got to do it now. We got to move now. We got to get together now. We got to meet now. Not for you, for them. Urgency for them. Urgency for them to be able to learn about this cool thing that you have. Urgency for them to be able to turn their life around. Urgency for them to get excited about their future. Urgency for them to get out of the rut that they built for themselves. That's the urgency. See, hunters have an urgency for themselves. Farmers have an urgency to plant. Right? Knowing that the faster I can get to you, the better you have an opportunity to be able to grow. This is a difference in mindset, but I tell you, it will change your results if before you contact any person to share your product or opportunity, if you get it in your head, this is about them. This is about serving. This is about passion. This is about urgency for them and their future. I have a gift. I just need to help them understand it. They just don't understand what I have yet. My goal is to help them understand it. I'm going to achieve my goal. All right, let's make the connection. You do that, things are going to change. And then belief. Belief in your product, your opportunity. You got to work on that. I don't know what you need to do to get solid on that, but read what you need to read, watch what you need to watch, attend what you need to attend, but get solid. Becoming your #1 fan of your product, ambassador. Be able to brag about what you're involved in at any moment. Get solid on what the gift that you have. And then second, get solid on you. You're a good person. You're a person who's caring enough about somebody else to be able to share it with them. You're a person willing to be persistent in order to be able to help somebody who's blind and doesn't know that they're blind to be able to see. That's what you are. And you're willing to face your fear in order to be able to do it. That's what you are. So at the beginning, when I did this, I didn't have all the confidence in the world based upon my experience and results, but I had the confidence in the person I hoped to become. And that was enough. And I knew that by doing this, I was stepping in the direction of the person I was supposed to become. By facing this fear, by putting it in a small corner, by not allowing it to control me, I was becoming this person. Changed everything for me. So belief in yourself. And then third, when it comes to belief in your prospect. Belief in their abilities, belief in their potential, belief in their future, belief in them. It's a big deal. Guess when I finally got excited about network marketing? Not when I joined, but right after I joined. Right after I joined, I heard my father, my dad's best friend, when they're walking out of this house, we just take a look at this opportunity. I just borrowed some money from my dad to sign up. And I heard John Joyce say to my dad, you see that kid? He's going to do better than all of us. I heard it. He didn't say it from my ears, but it went into my ears. And that was at a time in my life when I didn't believe in myself. So I borrowed his belief in me. And so many times I wanted to quit and I couldn't, because I would have been proving him wrong. I would have been making him a liar. I borrowed his belief in me. Just know this. If you believe in another human being, first of all, it's one of the greatest gifts you could ever have. Second, they need it. They need it. And you don't have to, it's not a patronizing thing. It's just belief in the other person, just total, I believe in you. I believe in your potential. I can see the future for you. It's potentially far beyond anything that I'm ever going to do. I see it. That's why I called. That's why I want to get together. They'll feel that even without those words. And even the other thing I learned, the powerful people, the ego people, you know who I'm talking about. They need it sometimes more than anybody else. One part of confidence is what I call compassion confidence. Behind every big, proud person is somebody who's scared and insecure, somebody who's stressed out and freaked out, somebody who has difficult situations going on you have no idea of. No matter how cool they show their world to you, if you just assume that behind that facade is something serious, you don't even need to know what it is. But if you believe in the person and you fill them up with that belief, I don't care who you are. You can be the person delivering the newspaper. If you believe in that, if you believe in the superstar on the side of the street, that superstar is gonna respond to that belief.
Okay,
One of the greatest gifts you can have.
stopping there. I'm going to stop the share and just go through. Sorry, also to let you guys know, there's a longer video where Eric goes through the how to invite. And I was debating, it's just a little too long for our time today, but I'll post it in Telegram because I like where he talks about who you have to be and then go to the how, right? But he really gives you the nuances of being excited and having some urgency when you invite, but telling them like, okay, Dr. Velvet, I really, really, really know you love this business. You love sharing. You love helping people. Well, I know if you go to our Orlando convention, if you go to the LifeWave convention, you're going to be so filled up by David Schmidt, and you're going to have time with people that are going to grow your skills, and you're going to have intuitions because I know you do. And then you're going to be walking the stage and people are going to be clapping for you. And we're all going to be like, woo! You know, and if you don't go, you're not going to have the chance to meet with other people, like-minded, share meals, get to know your team for just 2 days, get totally filled up. And afterwards coming out, you're going to be on your way to really having what it takes to get to that next 2024 trip where we're going to be again a team and we're going to maybe be on the beaches or wherever they're going to send us. But it all starts coming with that flight to Orlando, get your hotel room, let's get you set, let's get you prepared. I want you to be there because I believe in you. How's that for an invitation? Right now, Velvet, are you thinking about going? Wait, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm going.
I know, right? But it's a difference between texting out, hey, Monday night, get on the opportunity meeting, right? So there's the invite is the whole thing, you guys. It's something like, Dr. Velvet, do you want some food? Or Dr. Velvet, I have some amazing chocolate cake. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I got this guitar chocolate. I've spent 4 hours making this thing. It's 4 layers. You're going to love it. Which do you want to do?
The latter.
Right? Right. So it's really in our invite that way, you guys. Any comments? I always love it when everybody's silent.
I liked it. I liked it when he said about who I'm going to become, like by stepping out into this zone. So I wrote that down because that's really what drives me as well when I'm stepping out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And yeah.
May I share something?
This
real
is
quick?
Kate.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that part that he's talking about, seeing the vision in the other people, the speaking possible futures over another person
Yeah.
is so powerful. It lands in the deepest part of you. And if nobody has ever done it for you, ask somebody that knows you, because they know you better than you do. Everybody knows us. They see us differently than we do. And it just changes everything. I remember the first time it happened for me. And that's something that we love and care about these people. And we can do that graciously from our hearts any day, every day with everyone.
Thank you, Kate. Very, very true. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'd like to say something because I was having a discussion with Barbara of my 2020 vision. And I had put down in my vision that I was a great educator. I could educate other people on this product. But I failed to include what I wanted. And that was a prosperous brand partner that was signing up other brand partners. And when I read it, I said, I cannot believe I did this to myself. And so I've redone that, but I also took on, because I used to be a marketing director. And so a lot of those things I've kind of put to the side. Like, I'm like, oh, I was a massage therapist and I'm a teacher and all these other things. Well, no, today I showed up as a marketing director, not a brand partner, but a marketing director. And because of that, that fueled me today. And I've already reached over 69 people just today. So you just got to wake up, do it, keep talking. Like Louise was saying, I stumble on my words and stuff. Well, I was too until this morning. And now it just kind of flows right out of me. And I listen to what their energy as well, so that I can match that energy rather than vomiting all over them about how excited I am about this product. I'm taking it back a little bit, and it's allowing them space to
Great.
feel safe in that energy.
Thank you, Velvet. Canute, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, what struck a chord in what he was saying is the approach to the big, scary, hairy people on your chicken list. And you don't know what's going on in their life. We have a unique product. We have a unique offering that no one else has. So knowing that in your heart, knowing that in your soul, then you are not out there necessarily to find the next senior presidential director. But you also know that these people that are on the chicken list have connections to a bucket load of people. So first build the bridge, and then the relationship can go across it. I remember working with a guy in Sydney in 1994. He's now a CEO of one of the top 100 tech companies in the world in California. And the name just popped into my head. And Paul will get a message from me. I just have to find his details.
Great.
But I know him, he knows me. We go back a long time, although we haven't spoken for 15 years. Right? So you know in your heart what you have, and people will step up and listen to what you have, because there's something going on in everybody's life.
Thank you. They all have stem cells, right, Canute?
Yep.
Yeah. Barbara. Barbara, you're muted.
There we go. I just had a follow-up comment to what Dr. Velvet just said, because I did inside sales for 12 years, and literally that's millions of phone calls. And one thing I discovered that I started doing just very naturally, I mean, you don't want to be phony in any way, but is matching the phone voice of the person you're talking to. So if you're calling somebody in Louisiana and they are talking at a very slow cadence kind of rate, I learned to slow myself down. If I was talking to somebody in New York State, you better snap it out, and you have to get your proposal out really fast. So if you kind of match mimic the phone voice of your person, it isn't being phony. It just really is a natural thing to do, and it creates a better bond.
Thank you. Very true. All those nuances. Thank you. Steve.
Barbara, that's called mirroring.
Yes, I was looking for the word and I couldn't remember it. And when
Yeah.
you're sitting person to person, it's the same thing. Like Steve putting his hand on his chin. If we were at a table across the table and I did the same thing, it's just unconscious, but it's creating that bond.
Now you're getting into a little bit of NLP.
Yes,
so
I know.
Anyway, but that which is great. All right, two things real quick. Number one, if you're not excited before you start making phone calls, figure out a way to get excited. One of the things that I've taught for years, we all have tools that we can send out to people. Why don't we start first thing every morning, or in that first 15 to 30 minutes, watch one of the LifeWave prospecting videos. This is LifeWave. And then that's going to get you back in the mode of things. You're going to get excited all over again. I would not recommend watching, no offense, love David Schmidt, but don't get into the science of things, okay? Watch one of the prospecting or testimonial videos, okay? Yeah. That's number one. Number two, a very good friend of mine, he was a leader, one of my leaders in previous organization. He wrote a book several years ago that is called The Most Expensive Cookie in the World. And the basic premise is, I'm not going to go into all the detail, highly recommend you get the book. But what he talks about is a young waiter that is working at a 5-star restaurant. They have a new pastry chef that has just come on board, and he's giving everybody a sample of this amazing cookie. And these different waiters and waitresses have tried it the night before. They're doing the launch the next evening. So Friday evening.
Pardon me, Steve. I got to have you shorten it. We got a lot more to do.
Okay.
I apologize.
That's okay. Understand, if somebody accepts your cookie, they're in the right place. If they reject their cookie or your cookie, there are all kinds of reasons why they are rejecting it. Don't take it personally. Yeah. Go to the next person. So don't take it personally. It's their issue, their problem, their whatever. We have the most expensive cookie, and it is a life-changing cookie.
Thank you. And as we do these network marketing skills, there's other things about personalities, and Steve's such an expert I'd like to get into. So this isn't our only chance. We're going to keep doing these. Thank you, everyone. I want to now go back, share my screen, because I want to be cognizant of your time here. Getting back on here. So real quick, oops, let's go past real quick. Your mindset, believe in yourself, life in your success. Posture really is your confidence of, like in 331, I finally found something, you guys. No one can push me or most of all of you off of the pedestal of belief in this product. We know the testimonials, we know the results, right? Stick with it. But really, urgency, be ignorance on fire, because you have the gift. Now, no is often, I just don't understand the benefit to me. And we're going to go in the skills about no and the power of no. But the point is, did you really, in the 331, pique their interest? Did you pre-qualify them? Do they know what's in it for them, right? That's why we're trying to teach those skills. All right. you have opportunities all week to be inviting. Write a script out. Think of the person, to Knut and everybody's point. What's their issue? Why do you want to invite them here? What's it going to be? How are you going to describe it? Is it just like, oh, well, you know, are you hungry? Or are you hungry for chocolate cake? Right? Really changing. You need to invite your team to these networking skills meetings. You need to really practice the whole art of network marketing is inviting you guys. It really is. So let's get some more people coming. Now, again, we've talked about the conference. It is the big event. They just released more rooms. They just put out an email from corporate. You can click the event registration and the hotel registration. The rates are low right now, but honestly, big teams are moving. We're just little guys here, right? We don't have 500 people on this call. If you're thinking of it, get your room reserved. If something changes, we'll have people to take it. Get your ticket, right? Maybe something happened. It will be cross that bridge. We can probably have someone buy it from you. Get enrolled, you guys. All right. I'm gonna now is there any big questions, any big comments? Because we're gonna move right into, at the top of the hour, about 6 minutes from now, our manager meeting and above and launching the 90-day challenge. If you've been invited to that and you're not a manager, but you've been invited, stay with us. We're just going to keep this open. If not, we're going to finish off and we will be working with you to help you get to manager. We want to see you successful. We believe in you. So any big questions before I've got one more video for you, but I love this quote from Zig Ziglar. You can have everything in life you want if you just help enough people get what they want, right? And don't miss out on this growth. You don't want to be here next spring going, I woulda, coulda, shoulda. You guys, the window's closing. We're not like 2 years ago. People are calling. The word's getting out there. I just picked up a flyer in my neighborhood about stem cells, and we've got something for you. I never saw that before. So the whole point is, let's get into these networks. Let's grow through them. Any comments or questions before you finish up? I've got a fun one for you.
What was that you saw a flyer on? What were the words?
Velvet, I'll take a shot and send it to you. It's not right next to me, but
Okay.
it made me stop thinking, did they know about the patch or is this stem cell injection?
Yeah.
But it's getting hot, you guys. Yeah. So any thoughts or anything about inviting, anything about making your list? Have we sparked anything you hadn't thought about?
If anybody wants to have a list making session, I'm more than happy to set that up. It goes for probably 20 minutes, half an hour, and just literally go through your subconscious mind and start jotting things out. It's an ability that I have that I can help with. Anyone, speak to your active upline, stick your hand up, and we can organize a time and a place for that.
Thank you, Knut. We can put it on Telegram and definitely, get it time.
That's fine.
Because the power of this whole model, as you can tell, you guys, is the team. And Julie and I were talking, yesterday, Julie, just how powerful it was all being in Aruba. Like, we kind of didn't get it till we got there. And it was like, oh, we're all experiencing this together and it's so much fun. And like, there was something about the team that hadn't really gelled till we got on that trip, and it was all paid for. And Julie, do you want to say anything there?
Firstly, I'm not going to miss another one. I didn't miss that one, but what I mean is I've been there and I am going to work my butt off to get to the next one, because when do you get a free trip? When can you go and have a great time with people that are like-minded? We just had the best time. We met like a lot of top leaders who were just beautiful. They're just wonderful people. It was just amazing. And then with our team, we got to know each other a bit more. We went out for dinner, just at the end and stuff outside of the resort. And, we had a lot of fun together. And yeah, it was great. It was I particularly loved swimming in the water there. It was like amazing. So
What
you know,
she
I
means
come
is
from
we'd all
Australia
go
and the
one-
beaches are amazing. So I was like, Aruba, hello.
What she's talking about is hours out, just standing in the water with our hats on and drinks in our hands, as people would come in the water and change and float around and go get another drink. And it was just amazing. And where else do you get to do this together? Not at your job. I mean, we've all had people we liked at our jobs, but it's not like this. It's
It was
very
fully
different.
catered too. I don't mind having 5 days fully catered. You know,
It's true.
so yeah.
So, okay, so if I may make a suggestion, can we stop the recording?
I would
Uh,
like to finish with the video, please.
All right, I'm just conscious of the time, so we're running
Yeah.
over. So, okay.
Yep. So if we may, let me just send you off with this. Thank you, Knut, for being that. All right. Oh, 2 things. Network marketing is a roller coaster, you guys. Look at the woman on the left. She's like, ah, the woman on the right's like, woohoo. You're going to have it up and down every day. Why don't they say, no, I can't get anybody to join. It's all going to work out. Hang in here. 2 books, GoPro by Eric Worre, The Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. Seriously, read these books. They're very easy read. They're very great books. Okay, we're going to leave you with this, the power of the first follower.
You've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement. Then let's watch a movement happen, start to finish in under 3 minutes, and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore. It's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out and you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut and it's not 2 nuts. 3 is a crowd and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute, you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals, making everything clearly about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is over-glorified. Yes, it started with the shirtless guy, and he'll get all the credit. But you saw what really happened. It was the first follower that transformed a lone nut into a leader. There's no movement without the first follower. See, we're told that we all need to be leaders, but that would be really ineffective. The best way to make a movement, if you really care, is to courageously follow and show others how to follow. When you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first person to stand up and join in.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to stop the recording right now. Thank you. And those of you who might be joining us that are coming on for the managers meeting, you're in the right place. Those of you who are been asked to look at the 90-day challenge, you're in the right place. If that's neither of you, we thank you so much for coming, and we'll stop right there. Great. And people, any comments, anything as we go off? We're going to be switching here now.
I love what you just showed us, that video and the concepts. That really made clarity, and I have that one that is transforming me already. It's starting to happen.
All right, Kate. So you go, girl. All right.
Right.
All right.
Did you manage to stop the recording? Yeah.
Yes, I did.
All right. So I'm not quite sure how to do this because otherwise I have to split the recording in two. The
Okay.
fastest way might be to actually finish this meeting and start the meeting again so we can start another recording.
Okay, that's a good point. Thank you.